Hey, let's go on a Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. JR Afternoon. Ryan Ermanni, Beth Ann Long, and Danielle Mason across the glass. Thank you so much for being with us. Ladies, how we doing today? I know these days feel like so long now in the cold. I don't know if this is just me or if it's like a psychology or something that goes on, but the day feels so much longer in this miserable cold.
It feels forever, especially since it gets dark at like 5 p.m. I feel like I'm like up until like 3 in the morning.
It's a great point, Beth Ann. And yesterday it was about 5:33. I looked at the clock. It was very vivid. It was completely dark outside, and I thought it was 8:30. Now, a lot of that, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, but nonetheless, it felt like it was 8:30 at night. I don't know what the dynamic is of how our brains trick us, but here we are. And the city of Detroit, the state of Michigan, continue to dig out this morning, and bless you in there, Danielle. I do hear you. Good stuff.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize for sneezing. You don't have to apologize for that. There's a lot of that going on. By the way, quick deviation. Did you know, and I read this, it was a Wall Street Journal article earlier today. Did you know that colds travel through, anybody? Any guesses? Any guesses? Colds travel through the nostrils, the nose. Keep your nose clean. Literally and figuratively. That's where the bacteria gets through. I'm not a medical doctor. It was just a Wall Street Journal article, so take that for what it's worth. But nonetheless, the city of Detroit, the state of Michigan, continuing to dig out of this snow. More than 175 million people in 35 states are dealing with this weather in one form or another. Another potentially historic Arctic blast is barreling in on the Motor City. Coldest temperatures here in Metro Detroit in the last 7 years. That's what we're going to be dealing with here. It's only going to get colder, too. We're expecting lows with the wind chill around negative 25 to negative 30. And I've been saying this all week. Be sure if you have school-age children, if you are a teacher, if you've got an educator in your family, I just can't see a situation where they have school in the morning because of how low those lows will go. And maybe you're going to want to keep an eye out on Monday as well. We are in for it this weekend. Get you caught up on some news. Now, this Sharon Moore situation at Michigan is something that still is hard for me to fathom. Look, I did not think he was a good football coach. I thought he should have been fired a long time ago. I didn't think he should have ever been hired, to be honest with you. But this is something you just can't imagine. He was in court today for a probable cause conference. He's charged with home invasion, stalking, breaking and entering. They pushed this out. They pushed this probable cause hearing out because there is discovery in this case. They want to go through more legal documents, the legal team's going through discovery documents and all the like. So they have pushed this out till mid-March. School officials fired Moore after they alleged Moore was involved in an inappropriate relationship with an employee. A lot of people believed that there was going to be some sort of plea deal today so that this wouldn't go to trial. That was the farthest thing from the truth. They are fighting this. This is Ellen Michaels, Sharon Moore's lawyer, after today's hearing.
Mr. Moore is innocent of these charges. Today, on behalf of Mr. Moore, we filed a motion to quash the arrest warrant and dismiss the complaint. We've requested that this court grant a Franks hearing because this warrant was issued based on false and misleading statements presented as fact. We're confident the truth will come out in court under oath, where it belongs. Mr. Moore and his family respectfully ask for your privacy. Thank you.
So that was Ellen Michaels, Sharon Moore's attorney. And yeah, I thought there was going to be a plea deal today because I just didn't think there was any way that this thing would go to court, but nonetheless, it will play out, and we'll see where it goes. But the legal teams are doing their legalese things. Nonetheless, more to come on this story. We cannot continue to talk about the weather enough. That is the story here in the city of Detroit, the state of Michigan, and beyond. One of the most extreme and widespread in years. Going to lash out more than 24 states here in Michigan. Going to be dealing with record-setting cold. For more on this, WJR's Marie Osborne has that story. Hey, Marie.
Hi there, Ryan. Think about this. This storm is expected to affect 180 million people. I mean, we're looking at least half of the population of the United States. So this is a big, big storm. Severe conditions could stretch to more than 1,500 miles from the plains across the south, right up to the northeast. Widespread travel disruptions on roads and at airports are expected, and long-lasting power outages are also possible, particularly from ice in the south. This is a big danger. Snow and ice will begin developing over the central and southern plains tomorrow. It'll intensify and spread Saturday from Oklahoma, northern Texas into North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland, and then continue through Sunday in parts of the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. Here in the Midwest, in the Michigan area, we're not exempt. We are under this polar vortex right now, sending dangerously cold temperature readings into Metro Detroit this weekend. The coldest readings of the year will be seen with wind chills of up to 25 degrees below zero. You heard Rich Lazinski giving us the forecast. That was correct. That is what we're looking at. A normal reading for this time of year is about 32 degrees. So we're going to see a slight improvement next week, Ryan, but only temperatures into the teens. But it'll feel positively balmy after this weekend.
Who knew, Marie, that 32 degrees would feel like summertime? We cannot wait to get to 32 degrees. And you mentioned those southern states, too. I mean, if they get, forget about 10 inches. If they get 1 inch of snow, they don't have that snow removal equipment that we have here in the northern states that are so used to getting hammered by snow and have winters like we do. I mean, they get 1 inch of snow, the whole town shuts down.
Yeah. And ice is a real problem for a lot of communities. You remember a couple of years ago, I think it was in 2022, there were more than 100 people who died in Texas because they were without heat. I mean, it is a serious, serious concern in some of these states.
A lot of the ice that accumulates on the trees and the branches break and fall on power lines, and you're left without power. And it really is, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's a really difficult time. It's not like the summer you can just go out and repair these lines. I mean, these are treacherous conditions to repair a water main breaks or power lines or anything like that. So we got to keep that in mind. A lot of panic buying going on right now, no doubt about it. Thanks, Marie. We'll check in with you next hour. Hey, coming up at 2:35, in about 20 minutes from now, we're going to talk to Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens. She is running for Senate here in the state of Michigan, vacated by Gary Peters. Well, not vacated. He is retiring at the end of the term here and not running for re-election. So we'll talk to Congresswoman Stevens about a number of different issues as it relates to what's happening in the world. But coming up next, we're going to revisit what happened this morning at Davos, Switzerland. So much to talk about with the president and all of the things happening there. Lots of successful meetings happening there. We'll talk about the president's trip to Switzerland. We'll do that next. And what you have to hear, I'm going to play for you a soundbite from the CEO of the Citadel company, what he has to say about the president's economic plans, deregulation as well. We'll do that. It's all coming up next. 760 WJR.
Entertainment Insider, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Award season is here, and there's a lot of buzz around Ethan Hawke and his role in the movie Blue Moon. He said it's hard to tune out the noise, but
I have to hold it in balance and be really grateful to be at this age doing this long and have that conversation. even exist.
And now, a Progressive ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. See if you could save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at the Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have phone.
Okay. Okay. Of course I can't. Oh, here you go. 20 seconds. Here we go. Ready? Coming in 3 and 2. Hey guys, your health matters, and so does your experience at Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth. Every check-in is personalized, guided by board-certified experts who put you first. Just had my check-in since joining, and not only have I dropped weight, I feel stronger. I have more energy, and I feel better than I have in my entire adult life. Click the link to book your appointment today.
Facilities to foster innovation where students and faculty thrive. Visit clarkcc.com.
This weekend is the Fenton Home Show at the Fenton Community Center, downtown Fenton. Some of the best home improvement companies in Michigan at Fenton Home Show. See FentonHomeShow.com. Next weekend, don't miss Troy Home Show at the San Marino Club on Big Beaver. See TroyHomeshow.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and IBEW. Local 58, the Powering Michigan team of NECA and IBEW 58 are proud sponsors of the Detroit Auto Show Track Experience and EV Learning Center. Count on NECA, signatory contractors, and IBEW Local 58 electricians for charging expertise, residential, commercial, public, and fleet. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. That wreck on the Davison westbound off-ramp to I-75 is cleared. The roadway's reduced to 3 lanes on I-696 westbound between I-75 and Losser. That's causing slow traffic from 11 Mile. And expect occasional stop and go on I-696 eastbound from Orchard Lake Road to just past Franklin Road. Traffic still being funneled to the lodge there. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Temperatures will fall into the low 20s this afternoon with snow tapering off. Snow develops again overnight with a low of 1 and sub-zero wind chills, and sunny, windy, and cold tomorrow with a high close to 6. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Maurer on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Friday on JR Morning. Want a raise? Ask AI. We'll have details. Plus, learn about a traveling history museum you can visit. And as we do every Friday, we'll check in with head coach Tom Izzo about that home matchup with Maryland. Right here on WJR, WJR.com, and the WJR app.
.760 WJR, Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens coming up in the next segment. Looking forward to that conversation. She is running for the open Senate seat in the state of Michigan as Gary Peters retiring at the end of this term. I wanted to talk about earlier this morning. I got into work at Fox 2 at about 5:30, and there's the president live breaking news with the Board of Peace, the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. I love early events. I love those 9 a.m. football games. I love 5:30 a.m. press conferences and all the like. President Trump hosted this Board of Peace meeting. Leaders from 30 countries, 20 of them were there, from around the world, signed on and will work region by region to help keep peace, or at least try to help keep peace all over the world. And this Board of Peace includes the leaders of the entire Middle Eastern nations. Okay, what do you replace conflict with? You replace conflict with money. You replace it with commerce. How do you stop conflict in the Middle East? You have to rid that region of Hamas. The only way to do that, the only way to rid that region of Hamas is to get those nations, Qatar, Jordan, Egypt, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the UAE. You've got to get them involved and pressure Hamas. That's what was needed to create the ceasefire to begin with. And that's just part of what was accomplished in Davos. Now, yesterday, the president announced that NATO had agreed to the framework of a deal for the future of Greenland. What does that mean? Well, we're still learning a lot of that, but European leaders today will hold an emergency summit about that. We still don't know any details. The White House did put out a statement that reads, if this deal goes through, and President Trump is very hopeful that it will, the United States will be achieving all of its strategic goals with respect to Greenland, and at very little cost, forever. President Trump is proving once again he's the deal maker in chief. As details are finalized by all parties involved, they will be released accordingly. Now, what are those details? Again, we're still learning, but a couple that come to mind, the Golden Dome. You know, Greenland has to be involved in that at some point if you are truly going to build a Golden Dome in the hemisphere. And you've got to counter the influence that Russia and China have in the region, because that is continuing to get more and more and more and more bold, Russia and China's engagement in that region. Now, depending upon what side of the aisle you fall on, some would say it's the art of the deal. You say all of these crazy things, you get everybody up in arms, and then you get what you want. Others will say, well, here's the president caving again. And there is no, I gotta tell you, you post news so many times on social media, and some of the reaction, I hate to tell you, but I'm going to just stop reading it because it does give you an insight into where people are. There is nothing that, how do I want to say this? People just aren't going to agree. I mean, there are some people that will just root for anything to go wrong with this president, anything to go wrong with the country, because it would reflect on this president. I never understood that. You know, you also have a lot of economic leaders that it is the World Economic Forum, right? There's an actual economic environment that is being talked about. And that environment has created not only here, but what that is doing around the world, this economic environment. Listen to this as Citadel CEO Ken Griffin. Ken Griffin is talking about the difference in growing a business under President Trump and growing a business under former President Joe Biden.
You cannot imagine how painful it was each and every day under the Biden administration to look at what new crazy proposal was being put into place to solve a problem that didn't even exist. I mean, our constant friction at Citadel with the government across umpteen different aspects of our business was exhausting. And to have that literally end on one day, Election Day, just gives you so much energy as an entrepreneur to go back and build your damn business. So the biggest sea change I've seen across American executives has been just like the giant sigh of relief. I can now go and focus on building my business. And that prior administration, you know, we happen to be a creditor of Spirit. Their merger with JetBlue was stopped. Spirit's in bankruptcy today. There were so many decisions that were so poorly thought out in terms of economic consequences. It cost the U.S. economy dearly. I cannot emphasize that enough. And so the Trump administration is making slow progress on deregulation thus far, but the end of the regulatory onslaught has been just an extraordinary boom for American business.
An extraordinary boom for American business, and it starts with deregulation, the amount of regulation from the previous administration. And you can even look here in the city of Detroit, just look at our automakers being forced to go down the electric car route. And all of the money, the billions of dollars that were lost. Look what, Ford just ate $19 billion because there was not a market for that. And it is an economic environment where if the government stays out of people's business, if the government isn't in the car business, if the government isn't in the financial business, if the government's not in the building business, just look what's going on in California. I had a story in my back pocket that I never got to, but it was 1 year. We crossed over 1 year since the California wildfires. Burned down about 12,000 structures in the city of Los Angeles. Only 500 structures have been rebuilt. Structures could be a home, could be a church, could be a place of business. 500 in the last year. Why is that? It's regulation. Businesses do not like that. It doesn't create an environment for anybody to want to grow their business because it costs way more money than it's worth. So that is all of the positive things that are happening in Davos. And we talked about this yesterday a little bit. One of the things you have to do when it comes to this president, and well, you can do whatever you want. Don't let me preach to you, but you have to decide what he does versus what he says, because it's almost as if 90% of what he says is I don't know what it is. If it's quote unquote the art of the deal, or if it's just bluster, or if he's trying to get a rise out of people, or what. But what he does and what he says seems to be two different things. And for business, it is good. Business is booming here in the United States of America. We're going to talk to Congresswoman Haley Stevens, Democrat here in the state of Michigan. We'll do that next. Don't go anywhere. 760 WJR.
I love learning about long-standing Michigan family businesses, and one I'm proud to tell you about is Guernsey Farms Dairy. As a mom, I want to make sure my child gets the vitamins she needs to grow healthy, and something that helps her get that is drinking Guernsey Farms Dairy milk. Their award-winning milk, ice cream, lemonade has been a staple in Michigan fridges for over 80 years. When John McGuire started Guernsey Farms Dairy, he had a vision, and now it's continued with the family's third generation. John wanted to create a legacy for his family and the community, and the McGuire family is proud to continue that work today. I've been fortunate to see firsthand how they make their products and learn about the tradition when I met with the family. Remember, when looking for Guernsey's award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, make sure to visit your local grocer, or you could stop by their store and restaurant in Northville for an experience like no other.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
Hey gang, Jim Harper here with my brother Mike to talk to you about Dr. Saul Kogan and the Nerve and Disc Institute. Let's talk pain. I know you had a lot of operations, all kinds of different treatments, and then you went to see Dr. Kogan. Tell us what happened next.
Jim, the place is amazing. It's more like an institute than it is a doctor's office. My results were immediate. After just the first couple visits, I was able to get rid of using a walker every day, get rid of using my cane. I was able to get back to enjoying the things I like to do, my hobbies in life. I was super impressed. It's life-changing.
So if you really want relief, if you want your life back, call Dr. Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute. They have clinics in Farmington, Clinton Township, and Grand Blanc. And right now, the first 50 callers that mention WJR will get half off their treatment program. That's right, 50% off. So call today, 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472.
News. I'm John Saucier. President Trump announcing yesterday he'd agreed to the framework of a future deal with NATO involving Greenland and the Arctic region. Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Fredrik Nielsen addressing the agreement for the first time today. He says he wants to talk more with the United States.
We are ready to cooperate more in economics and in other areas, but that's something we have to talk about in mutual respect.
The president says he's canceled the planned tariff against European allies who oppose the U.S. takeover of Greenland. Texas Governor Greg Abbott with an update on a big winter storm expected to hit the state this weekend. He offered a simple message to residents in impacted counties.
If you're in an area with this ultra cold temperature that also has precipitation, do not be on the road unless you have to be on the road. You can save your own life and save your own property and save those around you.
35 states are going to be affected by this storm. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by Skyworks Equipment Rental. Keep your equipment running safely with Skyworks. Get your annual equipment inspection for just $99, plus any applicable taxes. If additional parts or labor needed, we'll quote up front. No surprises. Mention WJR and visit skyward-reliablerentals.com. We've got a wreck on I-75 northbound, the off-ramp to Dort Highway. That wreck on the Davison westbound off-ramp to I-75 is cleared. And your roadway still reduced to 3 lanes on I-696 westbound between I-75 and Losser. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Reamer Floors. This month, wrap your home in comfort during the Cozy Carpet Sale at Reamer Floors. Save up to 30% on Karastan and get free carpet cushion. Plus, enjoy big savings on in-stock carpet and area rugs. Visit us in Bloomfield Hills, Northville, or online at reamerfloors.com. A mix of sun and clouds for today. More clouds in the afternoon, a high of 25. A few flurries or snow showers possible. Snow showers for tonight, a low of 3. A cold weather advisory in effect for Friday from 1 a.m. until Saturday at 10 a.m. Wind chills will feel like 15 to 25 below. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This weekend is the Fenton Home Show at the Fenton Community Center, downtown Fenton. Some of the best home improvement companies in Michigan at Fenton Home Show. See FentonHomeshow.com. Next weekend, don't miss Troy Home Show at the San Marino Club on Big Beaver. See TroyHomeshow.com.
Welcome to the Douro River, Portugal's hidden gem, where every bend reveals a new postcard perfect view. Hi, this is Kevin Dietz, inviting you to join me next summer. We'll cruise through the heart of the Douro Valley, a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its terraced vineyards, historic villages, and golden sunsets. Savor world-class wines where port was born, sample Portuguese cuisine, and unwind aboard a river cruise designed for discovery and relaxation. From the vibrant streets of Porto to the quiet charm of Pazo de Rego, every stop tells a story rich in culture, flavor, and tradition. Our trip includes premium hotel accommodations, 7 nights on board Emerald Cruises, gratuities, and much more. A Douro River cruise isn't just a journey, it's a taste of Portugal's soul. Ready to set sail? Visit WJRTravelClub.com now to learn more or reserve your cabin, or call Cruise and Tour at 800-383-3131.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen Sundays at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. Sponsored by Must Construction Careers. Learn more at mustcareers.org.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it, with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Always excited to talk to our next guest. No stranger to our audience here on JR Afternoon. Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens, of course, running for the open Senate seat that will be left vacated by Senator Gary Peters, who is retiring at the end of this term. Congresswoman Stevens, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Great to be with you.
Great to be with you as well. And I am, first of all, I cannot believe we did not run into each other at the auto show, and I'm disappointed about that.
How is that possible? I was there multiple times.
I know.
Next year we're going to have to, plan a coffee class or something.
No doubt about it. How was that experience for you? It's always a great night and beyond, not just charity preview, but just walking around the auto show. It just feels like such a Michigan thing to do.
I know. And I'll tell you, people were just great to talk to. People were energized that it's, back in January, obviously not just for the first year, but it's like a show-off time. And one of the gals said to me, she goes, I'm just glad it's at this time of year because we can be inside, we can have fun, it gives us something to do, and we're all together. And I got back to the Capitol for votes this week, and I just thought, what a great weekend. I just had a blast. It knocked my socks off, really.
No doubt about it. When you run into people and when people talk to you, look, you're on the, part of the campaign trail as well. So you talk to people all the time, but specifically at a place like the auto show, when you're talking to automakers, executives, plant workers, and everywhere in between, what are some of the things that they are asking from you, some of the things that they are telling you that they need, some of the things that they experience when you get a chance to speak with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting because it is such a fun event. It's, the show-off time for Michigan, but at the same time, it's serious for us right now. There's a recognition that we're in real competition, that the cheese might be moving in some respect. And so our automakers are waking up every day with just the dedication to, winning the day and out innovating. And there is pressure on our folks and, everything that goes into setting up the auto show as well. I love talking to some of the folks who were just behind the scenes and who are part of it, security, people who were looking at the safety components too of some of the displays. And there's pride. There's absolutely pride. And there's also, frankly, just what I'm focused on each and every single day, which is a dedication to Michigan work and what we do. And it's got a good feel to it. I talked to these two guys. They drove from Grand Rapids to come out, and that's a common thing, right? And they came out. They said the roads were great, and they were geeked to be there. But people are taking China competition very seriously. Affordability, rising costs around materials, and these are all things I'm working on in the Congress as well.
No doubt about it. We're talking to Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens, running for the open Senate seat from Gary Peters, who's retiring at the end of the term. Congresswoman, let me ask you about just the auto industry and manufacturing and the tariffs. Just in my own experience at the auto show, there was a lot of people excited about bringing manufacturing back to the United States, billions of dollars being poured back in. At the same time, when you talk to an auto supplier that's trying to figure out the chaos of the tariffs, there was a lot of trepidation in terms of that. So it was a bit of a mixed bag on my end where I was having conversations. What are some of the things that you were hearing there, and how do you feel the auto worker here in Detroit and the state of Michigan is navigating through the tariffs and the manufacturing alike?
Yeah, we're not in the time period that we were in exactly with the Great Recession when I was working in the Obama administration on the auto rescue. There's a lot to be positive about in terms of the workmanship and the leadership that we have coming through, but the tariffs have been chaotic and they've caused prices to go up. You're spot on that our small to mid-sized manufacturers are shouldering an incredible cost burden. I keep a rigorous finger on the pulse of what those actors need in our from Washington or from trade policy, and it's like they need relief, right? And it's going to come down where if they don't get it, there's going to be job loss, and if not, plant closures. And then, people are looking at the national numbers too. There's been shedding of manufacturing jobs. Again, those sticker shock prices, just with the final assembly vehicle. We know we're in the quarter 21st century, and we've been dealing with inflation for a long time, but it does seem like some of those tariff costs are absolutely coming down on our consumers. So we got to level set. We got to tell our story. That's something I'm very confident that I can do from the lawmaking table as Michigan's next U.S. Senator.
Talk to me about that. What is the work that you do as a congresswoman for the state of Michigan? What are some of the things you would like to improve upon or get to work on as a senator? How different is that work? What is that like? What does that look like?
Yeah, I want to see us lessen our dependence on China, particularly throughout our supply chain, and bring more of the jobs back here to Michigan. And the way I think we can do that in better footing is with our tax code. And this is why, I've written some pretty comprehensive legislation to lower those costs, bring those jobs back with the processing and refining of critical minerals, which then go into our final manufacturing products that become our critical materials. And, we've just ceded ground as a country. Now, Michigan, we all have to remember, not only do we have these beautiful Great Lakes and an incredible environment, and we can even say that now when it's freezing right back home, but look, we're just one of a handful of states whose central economy comes from manufacturing and the industrial sector. And it's vibrant, but it requires stewardship. It requires dogged advocacy. And that's what I want to do in the Senate, because unlike in the House, right, where you're one of 435 members, in the Senate, you can offer any amendment to any bill. And so I just plan to make sure I'm always introducing that Michigan amendment for our workers and our economy to get us better results and the effective utilization of our tax dollar, because everyone knows they're paying taxes, but we got to see some results for our own state.
No doubt about it. Congresswoman, let me ask you about just some recent news events happening. First and foremost, let me ask you about the president's trip to Davos, Switzerland. What has been your reaction to that in yesterday, this announcement of a framework of a deal with the future of Greenland? We're still awaiting details on that, but what is your take on the president's trip to Switzerland?
Well, the president seems to be focused on Greenland when I'm focused on grocery prices and legislation that I've authored to remove blanket tariffs that increase the costs of our grocery bills, our food. And look, this isn't about Michigan over there, and it's so bull in the China shop. It's so ego-driven, and it goes back to, okay, we've had these tariff policies, and we've had about I don't know, countless tariff announcement a day, it feels like. And that's costing the Michigan family on average $1,600 over the year. And so that was sending a chill up people's spine. It's not working for us. And I'd just much rather have the focus be on what we need in our state.
Congresswoman Stevens, can't thank you enough for your time. We always enjoy speaking with you and getting your perspective here. And you join us more often than not. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I love being with you. Thanks to you.
Thank you very much. Congresswoman Haley Stevens, she is running for Senate here in the state of Michigan as well to become a U.S. Senator. Gary Peters retiring at the end of this term. So we'll have much more conversations regarding that as well. We got to get to a break. 760 WJR.
Welcome to the most wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, scream in terror, and start looking for new ways to save money. If that's you, why not cut your wireless bill in half with a saver plan from Pure Talk? You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super fast 5G network for just $20 a month. Ho, ho, ho. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will help you switch in minutes. Again, talk, text, and data for just $20 a month.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
And paid for by Anthem Tax Services. Attention! If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-245-7095 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-245-7095. That's 800-245-7095. Again, 800-245-7095.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. A conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by the law firm of O'Reilly Rancilio, advising and representing school districts for all of their legal needs for more than 40 years. Get details at orlaw.com. 100 years of history, 11 Stanley Cups. Discover the epic story of the team that defined our city. The Detroit Historical Museum presents Becoming Hockeytown, Detroit Red Wings at 100. Explore a century of hockey from the original Detroit Cougars to the legends that earned the name Hockeytown. Don't miss this special centennial exhibition, Becoming Hockeytown, on display through November 2nd, 2026 at the Detroit Historical Museum. Get your tickets and celebrate a century of champions. Learn more at DetroitHistorical.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
We've got an accident on the I-75 northbound off-ramp to Dort Highway. That wreck on the Davison westbound off-ramp to I-75 has cleared. The roadway is reduced to 3 lanes on I-696 westbound at I-75 and Losser. That's causing slow traffic from 11 Mile. And expect occasional stop and go on I-696 eastbound from Orchard Lake Road to just past Franklin Road. Traffic is being funneled to the lodge there. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
As cold air surges in, temperatures will fall into the low 20s this afternoon with snow tapering off. More snow may develop overnight with a low of 1 and sub-zero wind chills, and sunny, windy, and cold tomorrow with a high of 6. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Maurer on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
.760 WJR. If you want to get in, weigh in on anything that Congresswoman Haley Stevens had to say, 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. One of the things, we're limited on time, and one of the things I did not get to was everything happening with ICE. But I will say, one of the things that I do appreciate when we do speak is that she is focused on Michigan. So many of our lawmakers, talk about everything other than what affects people right here in Michigan. And I do appreciate that. I do want to get to everything going on. Continuing, guys, I look up at my TV. JD Vance is Vice President Vance is taking questions in Minnesota amid anti-ICE unrest there. The back and forth over what's happening and the methods continue to be a big story. This 24/7 news cycle. So much discussion regarding why not just cooperate with federal authorities, right? How many times have we said that? Why not just let the ICE officers go into the jails? Local police, state government, get rid of the worst of the worst. Don't let this play out in the streets. Get them into the jails. They don't do that in sanctuary cities. So last night on the CBS Evening News, Commissioner Paul Schnell, who's in charge of Minnesota's Department of Corrections, says he has no idea what the federal government is talking about. They have no idea where the Department of Homeland Security is saying that they will not let them into the jails. He says that we will help facilitate their transfer. He says he has no idea where 490 illegal immigrants have been let out on the streets. However, DHS says, yes, 490 criminal illegal immigrants have been let out of Minnesota jails. And then about an hour later, after the CBS Evening News interview aired on Chris Cuomo's show on News Nation, here's Mayor Jacob Fry.
You don't believe that the federal government is right, that the state of Minnesota, of course, through the governor's office, refuses to give them access to the jails and prisons to collect people that they say are criminal and not supposed to be in the country.
I won't speak for the state. I will let them speak for themselves, but certainly that is what they have relayed. In Minneapolis, we will not cooperate with ICE or any federal agency around immigration enforcement work. We will not.
Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, saying point blank, no, we will not cooperate with ICE. But the other guy says they are They got to get on the same page. You got to get on the same page. So in response to all of this, DHS then posts arrested, the worst of the worst. And there's pages and pages and pages. I'm holding this up now because if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you just see it's pages and pages and pages of people that Minnesota local jails have released onto the streets, and ICE has come and arrested them. Among them, small writing here, Sahal Osam Shidan, convicted of fourth-degree sexual conduct of a victim 13 to 15 years old. More aggravated assault. This is a different person. Aggravated assault with a weapon, threat, terroristic state to officers. How about this guy? Well, I can't say his first name. Trong Nguyen. He has rape, possession of a weapon, sexual assault. Then you got another guy, sexual assault, rape. Who's telling the truth here? I mean, I tend to agree with this sheet of paper because I've got hard facts here. It's not innuendo. This is real stuff. Who's telling the truth? Let me get to the phone lines. Bring in Vernon in Auburn Hills. You're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Vernon?
Fine, thank you. I called to talk about Haley Stevens.
Sure. Thank you. Go for it.
The people in Minnesota, I mean, the leaders over there, all they can do is deny because that's what they are, is militant Democrats. But I'm a Republican, and I'm not really a fan of Mike Rogers, and I was really impressed with Haley Stevens. My God, I thought she was wonderful. And I'd like to see perhaps if we could get the United States on the metric system. There's a boatload of big issues that we should tackle, But I was impressed with her. I think your interview was brilliant.
Thank you so much, Vernon. Here's one of the things that I aim to do on this show, and I've only been at it since July. I think the show will continue to evolve. I think the show will continue to improve. Everybody that's been listening over the last several months, I cannot thank you enough, but I've been at this for less than a year. But this is one of the things that I aim to do with this show. I aim to just have a conversation with our lawmakers. I'm not going to play gotcha. I'm not going to do that. There are other places for that. I will have conversations. I will throw out a couple of questions. I'll respond to a couple of things that they say. Everybody's got an open invitation here. If you are an elected official in the state of Michigan, you have a place here on 760 WJR from 2 to 4, because I think it's imperative. I think it's important for our elected officials to speak with their constituents. And I hope to talk to Mike Rogers. I hope to have the same conversation with him soon. We'll reach out to his people. Beth Ann Long is nodding her head in there. We'll reach out. We've reached out to a number of lawmakers. And again, I just want to have a conversation. I'm not going to sit here and play gotcha. I'm not going to sit here and scream and yell at anybody. Everybody will be treated with respect. Everybody will be treated the same way. That's what I'm going to do. And then you all can decide who you want to vote for. It's not my job to tell you who to vote for, who to like, who to not like. And it wouldn't matter if I did that anyway. You're still going to do what you're going to do. But Vernon, I really appreciate that. And that's just one of the things that I'd like to do. Ron in Sterling Heights, you're on 760 WJR. I got about a minute for you before I have a hard break. So Ron, go for it.
My quick point was I was watching some of the Jack Smith today on the news regarding, they're investigating him for everything that's been going on in the prosecution of Donald Trump and yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
Anyhow, why is it that during committee, the Republicans will come up and they will ask some questions, and I'm a conservative that I agree with. And then the Democrats will be able to come up and ask the next question, and they can spew for minutes and minutes upon things that have already been proven false. And the problem I have with it is that when people record this kind of stuff and they put it on Instagram, people don't do their own research. They take this as the truth. And these guys are up there and I know that they're probably not under oath like Jack Smith is, but they shouldn't be able to get up there, our lawmakers, and lie for 5 minutes at a time about stuff that's already been proven false. And I want to know why that is.
Ron, I appreciate the perspective. 760 WJR.
For physical health, mental health, and everything in between, Blue Cross is ready to help. Learn more at bcbsm.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
No matter the time of the year, it's good for the mind, body, and soul to get out there. Luckily, we're in Michigan, one of the most beautiful places in the country. I'm Dave Lorenz. Join us Sunday at 4 for the Michigan Travel Show here on 760 WJR.
WJR welcomes John Mellencamp to Pine Knob Music Theater July 16th for his Dancing Words Tour, The Greatest Hits. Be there for a night of your favorite songs from Mellencamp's 5 decades-long career. You could win tickets from WJR. Text HITS to 800-859-0957. Sponsored by Live Nation. Find official rules at WJR.com. Tickets available for purchase starting at 10 a.m. Friday, January 23rd at Ticketmaster.
We are on Instagram at WJR Radio. This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Vice President J.D. Vance is in Minneapolis. On Lisa Brady, Fox News, a city where anti-ICE protests continue after 2 recent shootings during confrontations over immigration enforcement operations.
I wanted to meet with business leaders, with ICE officers, with local law enforcement to try to understand a little bit better what's going on so that we can tone down the temperature a little bit.
Vance suggesting chaos is being driven by sanctuary policies.
We can do a good job of enforcing our immigration laws without the chaos, but it actually requires the cooperation of state and local officials.
He says with cooperation, not as many federal agents would be needed in the city. City and state officials have called the surge of agents an invasion and have sued Homeland Security. Vice President Vance also just calling the shooting death of Renee Good a tragedy, but also saying he believes she was ramming a federal officer with her car. Earlier, the U.S. Attorney General announcing 3 arrests over last weekend's anti-ICE protest during a church service in St. Paul. ICE operations also being criticized on Capitol Hill.
Gestapo tactics by ICE and CBP are the obvious result of President Trump and the Republican Party that protect anyone who helps them turn our country into an authoritarian gangster state.
Illinois Democratic Congressman Chuy Garcia at a House hearing where former special counsel Jack Smith is defending his prosecutions of then former President Trump.
The J6 committee destroyed evidence. Let that sink in.
Wyoming Congresswoman Harriet Hageman among the Republicans accusing Smith of being part of an effort to interfere with the 2024 election. President Trump, meantime, calling Jack Smith deranged, posting about that hearing as he heads back to Washington from the World Economic Forum, where earlier today he had an hour-long meeting with Ukraine's president before leaving Switzerland. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Reamer Floors. This month, wrap your home in comfort during the Cozy Carpet Sale at Reamer Floors. Save up to 30% on Karastan and get free carpet cushion. Plus, enjoy big savings on in-stock carpet and area rugs. Visit us in Bloomfield Hills, Northville, or online at reamerfloors.com. We've got an accident blocking your 2 left lanes, causing stop-and-go traffic from Livernois on I-94 eastbound just before I-96. A slow go on 75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile, usual for this time of day. 75 northbound off-ramp to Dort Highway. An accident blocks your exit ramp there. You can still get through. It's just going to slow you down a little. And we've got some sluggish traffic on I-94 westbound between Gratiot and Linwood Street. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A mix of sun and clouds today, a high of 25. A few flurries or snow showers possible. Snow showers for tonight, a low of 3. A cold weather advisory in effect for Friday from 1 a.m. until Saturday at 10 a.m. Wind chills will feel like 15 to 25 below. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Slip and fall accidents can happen anywhere, especially in winter with ice and snow. When a business does nothing to protect its customers from danger and someone gets hurt, then it becomes our business. Michigan Slip and Fall Lawyers is Michigan's only law firm specializing in slip and fall cases. With millions recovered in compensation for our clients, we're here to protect you all year round. Go to falllaw.com now for your free consultation. That's falllaw.com.
Finding excuses to not do your taxes? Well, you can start today and file for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. Just file on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th and you'll pay $0. Start filing for free today. Offer only for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year.
It's more than news. It's a conversation. This is JR Afternoon on WJR. Here's Ryan Ermanni.
Hour number 2 of the program. Welcome in on a Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. Hour number 1 of the program, we had Congresswoman Haley Stevens on. We invite you to check out that interview, WJR.com and the WJR free mobile app. Just check in on the podcast page. I had a caller in the last segment. I had a hard break at 5750, not to inside radio with you, but didn't get a chance to respond. And why do the Congress people get to quote unquote lie when they're questioning somebody that's under oath like a Jack Smith? And I have not touched on the Jack Smith testimony today because that is happening during the show. We'll look at it and we will have more on that tomorrow. But it's interesting because I think there's a lot of lying going on. And again, I'm not saying anybody's lying during the Jack Smith. I really haven't paid much attention to it because it was not in the show today. So I haven't paid much attention to it. But there is a lot of lying going on. And I think that's why we're in the situation that we're in, just even constantly. And I think the biggest stressor in this country right now, the biggest point of contention in this country is everything happening in Minnesota. It's why I'm so passionate about it, because it's the powder keg of the country, what's happening there. And why is it happening? Why? And it just goes back to pouring gas on open flames. There is a complete distortion of facts. It is continuing to become a problem with politicians and news media as well. They are certainly not exempt. Ilhan Omar posting a photo of a child with ICE agents yesterday, and it was a photo. It's a viral photo. It's being shared by all of the different news outlets as well. Says ICE just detained a 5-year-old child. Don't tell us this was about the worst of the worst. That's a lie. Absolutely vile. I mean, you look at the picture, and if you take that as fact, not great. Doesn't look awesome at all. And then Homeland Security, and this is where I appreciate what they're doing. They are adding context to everything that's being put out there. And then you decide whether you think they are doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And again, so many times people believe if you add context, if you simply tell the whole story, you are a mouthpiece for the administration. You're a mouthpiece for Trump. I mean, say what you want. I don't care. But what I will say is it's really important to me, at least, maybe not anybody else, but it's really important to me. Clearly, it's not that important to a lot of other people. But it is important to me to get the whole story, share it all, and let you decide for yourselves. I'm not going to tell you what to think. Whether they're doing good or bad, that is up to you. But Homeland Security, as a response to this photo that was posted, they said ICE did not target a child. The child was abandoned. On January 20th, ICE conducted a targeted operation to arrest Adrian Alexander Coneo Arias, an illegal alien from Ecuador who was released into the United States by the Biden administration. As agents approached the driver, he fled on foot, abandoning his child. For the child's safety, one of our ICE officers remained with the child while the other officers apprehended Conejo Arias. Parents are asked if they want to be removed with their children, or ICE will place the children with a safe person the parent designates. This is consistent with past administrations' immigration enforcement. Parents can take control of their departure and receive a free flight and $2,600 with the CBP Home app. By using the app, illegal aliens reserve the chance to come back the right legal way. Now, very important as well, ICE mentioned in that statement being, quote, consistent with past immigrations consistent with past administrations' immigration enforcement. Here is President Obama in 2013 being interviewed about his policy on child separation.
Won't you at least consider unilaterally freezing deportations for the parents of deferred action kids?
Yeah. Here's the problem that I have, Jose, and I've said this consistently. My job in the executive branch is supposed to be to carry out the laws that are passed. Congress has said, here's the law when it comes to those who are undocumented, and they allocate a whole bunch of money for enforcement. And what I have been able to do is to make a legal argument that I think is absolutely right, which is that given the resources we have, we can't do everything that Congress has asked us to do. What we can do is then carve out the DREAM Act folks, saying young people who have basically grown up here are Americans that we should welcome. We're not going to have them operate under a cloud, under a shadow. But if we start broadening that, then essentially I would be ignoring the law in a way that I think would be very difficult to defend legally. So that's not an option.
That is not an option. President Obama saying that's not an option. Got to separate. You can take the child with you, or this is the way it is. But it's the law. If you don't like the law, we got to change the law. I don't love images like this. Who loves images? Who even likes images like this? Nobody gets their rocks off by this. But this is, one, the law, and two, it's been happening for a long time, including under President Obama. And I think it is up to you to decide whether you think it is just a hysteria on steroids. Why wasn't this like this under President Obama? Why is it like this now? And why can't we just tell the whole story? Just give all of it, the whole story, all of the context. You're going to get that here on 760 WJR. You're also probably going to get hit by some winter weather. No matter where you go in the U.S. during the next few days, you will likely run into extreme weather. WJR's Marie Osborne with a look at what's ahead. Hey, Marie.
And hi there, Ryan. Yeah, we're looking at this major winter storm. So let's start here in Detroit. We have this polar vortex that we're living with right now, and we're looking at dangerously cold temperatures starting today and moving all the way through the weekend. We're looking at some cold readings, the coldest of the year, frankly, with wind chill readings of up to 25 degrees below zero. We're supposed to be at about 32 degrees. There's going to be a slight improvement next week with some high temperatures getting into the teens, but that's about it. Hospitals and urgent care facilities are prepared for weather-related problems. They're looking at frostbites, slip and falls, all the things that go along with these bitter cold temperatures. And of course, organizations that provide temporary shelter during the extreme cold snaps are also gearing up for an influx of people in need. Now, a major winter storm, we need to talk about this, is going to be lashing more than 24 states in the country. We're talking 180 million people here from Friday night through Monday are going to be affected by this. If you're traveling, you need to know this. Severe conditions stretching about 1,500 miles from the plains across the south all the way up the northeast. Travel disruptions on roads and airports. Long-lasting power outages are very possible, particularly due to ice in the south. So if you're traveling, you need to know that. If you're staying here at home, get ready for some very cold temperatures.
And we cannot talk about it enough, Marie. It is the story here locally. The weather, and it's only going to get worse over the next couple of days. Thanks so much, my friend. We'll check in with you tomorrow. You got it. Hey, coming up next, this weather is affecting so many people. So many people left indoors. We've got my good friend, Dr. Sabrina Jackson. She's going to join us next for ways to combat seasonal depressive disorder, seasonal depression. We'll check in with Dr. Sabrina, and we'll do that next. Don't go anywhere. 760 WJR.
the Inside of You podcast.
You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Let's get inside of Sebastian Maniscalco.
This whole podcasting thing, right?
I was doing it before every actor and their mother wanted a podcast.
Did you wake up one day and go, I got to talk to people? You're an actor.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
How do we make
It happened by accident. I had no idea people would start listening. But when you're genuine, that's what attracts people.
The Inside of You podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Your holiday decor is down and suddenly your house looks very January. Kohl's can help you bring the spark back. No twinkle lights needed. Save on bedding that feels like a snow day. Decor that'll boost the mood. And Shark vacuums because, yes, you're still finding pine needles. Get an extra 15% off some of your faves store-wide. And beat those winter blahs at Kohl's. Select styles. Offer ends January 25th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons do not apply to Shark. See store or Kohls.com for details.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Do you have an IRA or 401k? You want to think of this as being your money. But remember, you still have to pay taxes when you withdraw this money in retirement. And these taxes, well, they could be a lot higher than you know. Learn how you could reduce or potentially eliminate these taxes with a free retirement tax savings analysis. It's from the Brzezinski Group, a second-generation financial advisory firm right here in Metro Detroit. If you've saved at least $250,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 800-641-3361. This free analysis could save you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes in retirement. Call 800-641-3361. That's 800-641-3361. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hi, Dr. Sabrina.
Legal or tax advice.
How are you?
This weekend is the
I'm
Fenton
good. How
Home
are
Show
you?
at the
I am
Fenton Community
absolutely
Center,
amazing.
downtown
Can you hear me
Fenton.
good?
Some of the best home
Yeah, you sound
improvement
great.
companies in Michigan
Good.
at Fenton Home Show. See
We're just in a commercial break. It's just going to be about a
Next
minute.
weekend, don't miss
And
Troy Home
when we
Show
come
at the
back,
San
you'll see
Marino
Ryan
Club
on your
Big
screen.
Beaver. See
Okay.
TroyHomeshow.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
We have an accident on I-75 northbound at I-375. 75 northbound just before Crooks Road. We have another wreck there. That's blocking your left lane, causing stop and go from Big Beaver. That's also blocking your right shoulder. Police around the scene. I-94 eastbound just before I-96. Steer clear of an accident blocking your two left lanes. You're slow from Lanyo Street there. Expect delays on I-75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile. And I-75 northbound, you're off-ramp to Dort Highway. We still have that wreck off to the right shoulder, slowing you down a bit, but you can still get through. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Snow will taper off this afternoon as temperatures drop into the low 20s. Very cold overnight with a few snow showers and a low of 1 with sub-zero wind chills, and a sunny, breezy, and cold Friday with a high of 6. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Friday on JR Morning. Want a raise? Ask AI. We'll have details. Plus, learn about a traveling history museum you can visit. And as we do every Friday, we'll check in with head coach Tom Izzo about that home matchup with Maryland. Right here on WJR, WJR.com, and the WJR app.
Well, whether it's the cold or whether it's the news cycle, maybe you're a little depressed. I don't mean to laugh about it, but either way, whenever I'm depressed or whenever I'm feeling the blues a little bit, I got to bring in my good friend, Dr. Sabrina Jackson, the people expert. Dr. Sabrina, how are you, my friend?
I am amazing. How are you?
I'm doing tremendous today. I'm doing tremendous.
You know, I'm still in celebration mode, so
Yeah,
I'm
well,
celebrating.
yes. Our entire audience, we have to remind everybody, Dr. Sabrina just had a milestone birthday. I don't think I'm out of school to say it because we announced it on television. Your 60th birthday
Yes,
was just a couple of days ago.
was
How did
on
you
Monday.
celebrate? How did you celebrate?
I had a party and it was a day party, so it was from 3:30 to 6:30 and we danced and we had great food and a little cocktail. We just had a great day, and so I am so blessed and so honored that people did so many nice things for me. And so I had good cake and good cupcakes and all of that.
I love it. Well, you know what? Let's start there because picking an opportunity to celebrate at a time like now, it is so cold out there. We have been, in many cases, locked in our homes because it's dangerously cold out there. That can be a very serious thing for your mental health as well. We say seasonal depression or whatever the case. That's a
And
real
it is a
diagnosis, but
real thing.
nonetheless, yeah.
It is a real thing. And so it's actually called seasonal affective disorder.
There you go.
And so your affect changes. And so we need to understand that there are three areas that are affected when we are dealing with the cold. Biological changes happen, psychological strain occurs, and then your lifestyle shifts because when it's nice outside, you go and do stuff. But when it's cold, you do not want to go and do things. So the first corporate is the lack of sunshine.
Mhm.
And the lack of sunshine, our body relies on natural light to regulate chemicals within our brain. And so when those chemicals aren't regulated, it causes us to be down. It causes us to um, I can't say that word, circadian
Yeah,
rhythm
there
to
you
be
go.
off. So
Circadian rhythm.
circadian rhythm, and that tells you when to be awake and when to sleep.
Mhm.
And so we're almost like bears. You know how bears hibernate? So
Yes.
when it's cold, our natural thing is to want to go in, to go inside, to want to just cuddle up under a blanket and just not do nothing. And so then that can cause us to feel depressed. It can cause us to be down. It could cause us to want more carbohydrates.
I
We
know
crave
that's what we
carbs.
say. We call it comfort food, right, Dr.
Comfort
Sabrina?
food. We absolutely want those things because when we don't get those chemicals, and the chemicals that we're looking for is serotonin, and then there's a mix between serotonin that we need and then melatonin. When we get too much melatonin, we want to sleep. And we don't get enough serotonin, our mood is down. We don't feel good because serotonin is the feel good hormone. So all that thing is going on and we don't even know that that's going on really. We just know we don't feel like doing nothing and we don't feel like going nowhere. And we definitely don't feel like being bothered with people because when you go out and it's cold out here and a person sneezes or coughs, you I'm going the other way.
Yeah, right. But that you bring up such a great point because the only thing you want to do is stay home when the weather's like this. And then what do you do when you are home? Maybe you're scrolling on this thing. I'm holding up a phone right now for the radio audience. You're scrolling on social media. It's basically all negative. Everybody's fighting everybody. Everybody hates everybody, and that can have an effect on you as well when you are inside. So how do you combat that at a time like this when you're really not doing a ton?
Well, the first thing is that you have to do something on purpose to chase light. So when it's nice outside or when it's just daylight, even if you don't go outside, at least open your blinds. Let the light in. Even if it's not sunlight, it's still natural light and you want that to come in. And so when you have that, please do that. The second thing that is so critical, we need vitamin D, and vitamin D naturally comes from the sun. And so since we can't get it from the sun, we may need to call our doctors and ask for vitamin D, or we can get it over the counter. But vitamin D supplements are very, very critical during this time. And then we also need artificial light. So they have lights that you can purchase that helps you to bring that natural light within your home and within your thing. But this is important. You talk about what do you do when you're inside and when you're scrolling. Make it your business to look for things that are light in nature.
Yes.
Look for things that make you laugh. For me, there's some cartoons out there now that, oh my God, I don't know who doing them, but they keep me giggling. And so I seek those. So even when I see something negative, I control if I go down that rabbit hole. And so when I know that I'm already not feeling my best, let me go look for something that's going to lighten my mood, that's going to make me smile or even make me giggle. Because laughter, I say it all the time, Ryan, laughter is medicine for our soul.
There's no doubt about it. And you have to take ownership of your own joy as well. And that's one of the things that, one of the reasons why I love talking to you, Dr. Sabrina. And you can find Dr. Sabrina at sabrinajackson.com. And of course, on social media at the People Expert _. But one of the things about you and talking, you are always getting people to look inward. Don't worry about what's happening around you. You can only control how your behavior, how you react to something, what your behavior is, and you have to be intentional about that.
It's so important. I was listening to a psychologist that I listened to, and I was listening to her, and she talked about how we really do have the ability to control our depression, our anxiety, and our moods. So if we wake up and we are locked into fear, we're locked into, oh my God, it's so cold. So I don't like cold. So even the language that I use about the cold, I always say that cold is necessary. There's things that happen when it's cold. There's things that die when it's frozen. And so sometimes we don't know. Mother Nature is doing some things to save us from something. We don't know. So I use that mindset instead of, oh, I just hate the cold. And actually, when I think about when it's cold, and if you have a boo, that's good cuddle. That's a good cuddle
There's
time.
no doubt about that. Dr. Sabrina, you're the best. And you know what? One of the things that I think about too, just in terms of a positive, is all of the people that are out there making a couple of bucks now, all the plows and all the
Yes.
workers out there. And we've had winters where they've had nothing. All the ski resorts and ski lodges in the state of Michigan, we've had winters with nothing, and now those guys and gals are getting to eat a little bit too this winter season. You're the best, Dr. Sabrina. Thanks for hanging out with me. And by the way, we're trying this video thing out too. We're not really making a big to-do about it yet because we're just working out all the kinks. But it is good to see you, Dr. Sabrina.
Always good
I am
to
looking
see
at you right now.
I am looking at you too. I love it. So I am down. I'm part of the Ryan team. So whatever Ryan needs me, I'm there. You know
I'm
that.
Team Dr. Sabrina too. 760 WJR.
Hi, it's Paul W. here again from my friends at Victor's Home Solutions. The Michigan winter is especially hard on the roof of your home. Victor's recommends you keep an eye out for signs of winter roofing problems.
Thanks so much, doctor.
Icicles hanging from your
Thank
gutters,
you.
uneven snow melt on your roof, or even water stains on your ceiling. If you see any of these, don't wait. Call the roofing experts at Victor's Home Solutions. You see, unlike a lot of roofers in the area, Victor's doesn't shut down during the winter. They know your roof problems can't wait until spring. They can be at your home within 24 hours, do a free 21-point inspection on your roof, diagnose the issue, and recommend a solution. And if it is time for a new roof, their highly trained installation teams will install it perfectly the first time. Clean up after themselves and leave your home and yard nicer than how they found it. So if you see signs of winter roofing problems, don't wait. Set up your free no-obligation roof inspection and estimate today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS. Or online at victors.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big three carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55 plus discounts. That's so customers like you keep paying their regular higher rates to boost their bottom line. You deserve better service with 100% US-based experts, better value with plans starting at $20, and a company that's built for people 50 plus, like me. Not convinced? Give your current carrier a call. Ask about the 55 plus plan you've earned. See how long it takes to get a real person on the line, and if they try to talk you out of it. But if you want something better, call Consumer Cellular. We've got the same great coverage, and our US-based experts can get you switched in about 20 minutes. Switch now to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com for your second month free.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. The House Judiciary Committee is questioning former special counsel Jack Smith about whether partisanship played a role in his prosecution of President Trump as he ran for a second term.
Committee Chairman Republican Jim Jordan noted special counsel Jack Smith was appointed a few days after President Trump said he was running for a second term, and that Smith appointed people to his team who'd participated in the raid on Mar-a-Lago. Smith said he believed the evidence proved President Trump tried to overturn the election results in 2020 and that he mishandled classified documents.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. A massive winter storm targeting states from Arizona to Maine. Fox Weather's Mike Seidel is in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
We're forecasting up to a foot of snow. Now, keep in mind, the seasonal average here in Tulsa is just under 9 inches, so they could get a whole season's worth with this storm. Temperatures Saturday only in the single numbers.
America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Blocking your left lane on I-75 northbound at I-375. That's causing stop-and-go traffic from the Lodge. Another wreck on 75 northbound before Crooks Road. You're slow from Big Beaver there. That's also blocking your right shoulder. And we have an accident on I-94 eastbound just before I-96. You're slow from Lanyo. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 25. A few flurries or snow showers possible. Snow showers for tonight, a low of 3. A cold weather advisory in effect for Friday from 1 a.m. until Saturday at 10 a.m. Wind chills will feel like 15 to 25 below. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hi, it's Paul W. It's January, the month when...
Coming in 3, in 2. The Arctic blast is here. Coming up at 2 p.m. on JR Afternoon, we're talking about this winter weather. 180 plus million people affected by the winter weather in the state of Michigan. Dozens, hundreds of school closed. Oh, shit. Coming in 3, in 2. Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, we're talking about the Arctic blast, a historic winter weather that we are embarking on, the coldest temperatures in 7 years. We'll talk to Weather Authority. Damn it, I can't say that. Coming in 3, in 2. Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, the winter weather is here. The lowest temperatures in 7 years. Schools closed, businesses closed as well. How are you getting along staying inside? All that and so much more. Plus, it's a Football Friday championship weekend in the NFL. 760 WJR.
Stores, those being Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, Gowling Alfa Romeo Fiat in Birmingham, Gowling Buick GMC in Lake Orion, Gowling Toyota in Warren, Gowling Kia in Madison Heights, or you can always find us at Gowling.com.
At Average Amy's Coffee Corner, our coffee has caffeine, our muffins are cooked, and our services, well, we're here. Come on by for an average cup of joe.
Average doesn't build great businesses. Cumulus Digital does, outperforming industry benchmarks by more than 25%. We deliver smarter digital marketing to over 4,000 local businesses every month and drive real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
I'm Dr. Phil Knight with my co-host Jerry Brisson.
what if we told you hunger in America is a problem we can actually solve?
I'd believe it. That's the mission behind Food Secure Nation, our weekly broadcast where we sit down with leaders, innovators, and everyday heroes who are tackling food insecurity head on.
It's not just talk, it's action, inspiration, and a roadmap to a healthier, more dignified future for all. Even more, it gives us possibilities to help our neighbors who have a little more month than money.
And it's casual, humorous, and as you say, Doctor, puts the cookies on the right shelf so that everyone interested in a food secure nation can understand more and do better.
We welcome you to join the conversation.
Food Secure Nation, sponsored by Know Better, Do Better. This Sunday at a special time at noon, 760 WJR. And wherever you get your podcasts.
Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
760 WJR. A couple of top stories locally here. And again, throw out the phone number if you guys want to weigh in on anything. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. I feel like today is as full a show as we can provide. And it's not over yet, but we talked with Haley Stevens, Congresswoman Haley Stevens. We talked about Sharon Moore. We talked about ICE. We've talked about mental health with Dr. Sabrina. I mean, we have literally hit on just about everything that you could possibly want or need or get involved with. For Sharon Moore, here's what his attorney said after court.
Mr. Moore is innocent of these charges. Today, on behalf of Mr. Moore, we filed a motion to quash the arrest warrant and dismiss the complaint. We've requested that this court grant a Franks hearing because this warrant was issued based on false and misleading statements presented as fact. We're confident the truth will come out in court under oath where it belongs. Mr. Moore and his family respectfully ask for your privacy. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And that was Ellen Michaels, the attorney for Sharon Moore. That was after court. A lot of people believe today that he was going to go into court, maybe not even see him, other than just walking in, strike a plea deal, and have it be done. Instead, he is fighting this tooth and nail. The legal teams are working through discovery documents, so they are pushing this hearing out. Today was a probable cause conference, pushing the hearing out until mid-March. Nationally, we talked about a couple of things. The president's Board of Peace, that was the big story today. The World Economic Forum in Davos. President hosted leaders. He didn't host, but he was part of leaders from 30 countries to sign this Board of Peace to keep peace in the Middle East. It's great you've got peace now. How do you keep the peace? And you need that entire region. Qatar, Jordan, Egypt, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the UAE, all involved now. And you've got to keep pressure on Hamas. If you keep Hamas out and bring commerce in, and that's a big if. Those are the two biggest letters in the Middle East. If those countries are able to do that, you might have a successful region, and perhaps maybe no reason why you cannot have Gaza be a second iteration of what's going on in Dubai. That's the hope anyway. And hope is not a strategy, but perhaps this is a way to get there. We also talked about ICE. And again, I am just floored. I am continued to be floored by the lack of half-truths that are continuing to go on. Ilhan Omar did it, and she shared this image of a 5-year-old who was in quote-unquote ICE custody. And again, the picture was not what it was made to seem like, or at least that's DHS's side. And again, just add context to all of it. Ilan Omar says, ICE just detained a 5-year-old child. Don't tell us this was about the worst of the worst. That's a lie. Absolutely vile. Okay, well, then Homeland Security says ICE did not target a child. The child was abandoned. ICE conducted a targeted operation to arrest an illegal immigrant from Ecuador. He was released into the country. This illegal fled on foot and abandoned his child. And then ICE will place children with a safe person or a safe person that the parent designates, or the child can be removed with the parent. That may seem completely inhumane to many. It feels inhumane to me, to be quite frank with you. But again, this is not a departure from anything that has been happening over the years. Even under President Obama, he did the same exact thing. Here's Obama in 2013.
Won't you at least consider unilaterally freezing deportations for the parents of deferred action kids?
Yeah. Here's the problem that I have, Jose, and I've said this consistently. My job in the executive branch is supposed to be to carry out the laws that are passed. Congress has said, here's the law when it comes to those who are undocumented, and they allocate a whole bunch of money for enforcement. And what I have been able to do is to make a legal argument that I think is absolutely right, which is that given the resources we have, we can't do everything that Congress has asked us to do. What we can do is then carve out the DREAM Act folks, saying young people who have basically grown up here are Americans that we should welcome. We're not going to have them operate under a cloud, under a shadow. But if we start broadening that, then essentially I would be ignoring the law in a way that I think would be very difficult to defend legally. So that's not an option.
That's not an option. And again, it's terrible, but I don't know what you do about it. You could change the law for sure, but to say that it's a departure from anything that's been happening, context is so important to me. Telling the whole story is so important to me. And I think that's one of the things that we've gotten away from over the last several years specifically, but nonetheless. So all of that going on. Also, I did not think I was going to bring up Taylor Swift on the show today, but did you see the story about Taylor Swift? Anybody in there? No, nobody knows anything about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, this is big news in pop culture, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Taylor Swift has turned off her comments on Instagram.
Breaking news.
It is breaking news. Turned off her comments on Instagram. Why? Because she lied. Taylor Swift. I don't know if anybody's been following this Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni sexual harassment lawsuit. You've been following this?
Of course.
Is this big story, Beth Ann, in your atmosphere?
As a 23-year-old, of course.
Well, this is so Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are in the midst of this sexual harassment lawsuit. Lively is suing Baldoni, and Blake Lively and Taylor Swift apparently very chummy, very friendly, and then this lawsuit happens, and Taylor Swift is asked about it repeatedly. She, I don't know anything about it. I haven't know anything about it. And then, much like any lawsuit, there is this word called discovery. When you have discovery, you know what you see? Text messages. So all of these Taylor Swift text messages to Blake Lively have now been revealed. She has known all along about everything going on. She's been lying to the public. She's been lying to her fans. She's been lying to the media. And she is getting dragged.
Give me a break.
Getting dragged.
You're not going to lie to cover your friend's butt?
I'm not.
Because I am.
I'm not saying I'm not. But I will tell you. She did. She got caught through discovery, and she has turned off her comments on social media.
She makes better music when she's mad anyways.
Right.
Go ahead.
Reputation
Go
part
at her. Go at her, guys.
Come on, Taylor Swift. Where else are you going to get Taylor Swift and ICE all in the same segment? Right here on JR Afternoon, 760 WJR.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big three carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55 plus discounts. That's so customers like you keep paying their regular higher rates to boost their bottom line. You deserve better service. With 100% US-based experts, better value, with plans starting at $20, and a company that's built for people 50 plus, like me. Not convinced? Give your current carrier a call. Ask about the 55 plus plan you've earned. See how long it takes to get a real person on the line, and if they try to talk you out of it. But if you want something better, call Consumer Cellular. We've got the same great coverage, and our US-based experts can get you switched in about 20 minutes. Switch now to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com for your second month free.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Art lovers take note. Dumichel's January auctions blend history and design. Discover hand-woven Persian rugs, architectural treasures from Detroit's most iconic landmarks, and works from the Grand Rapids Art Museum. From estate jewelry and mid-century modern furniture to paintings, prints, and sculpture, there's something for every taste and stage of collecting. Join us online or in person January 22nd and 23rd with preview open now. Visit DUMOArt.com to bid. Dumichel's, your #1 place to buy art.
Imagine this. You're gliding down a peaceful river past sun-drenched vineyards and centuries-old villages. Welcome to Portugal's Douro River, one of Europe's most beautiful and relaxing cruises. Hey, it's Kevin Dietz. I'm heading to Portugal in July 2026, and you are invited. We'll spend a night in Lisbon exploring this stunning capital before boarding our river cruise ship to visit charming towns, enjoy authentic Portuguese cuisine, and sip world-famous port wine right where it's made. No rushing, no crowds, just breathtaking views, warm hospitality, and time to truly unwind. This trip is perfect for travelers who love culture, scenery, and a slower pace. Whether you're celebrating retirement, an anniversary, or simply ready for your next adventure, Portugal's Douro River is calling. Visit WJRTravelClub.com for complete details or to reserve your cabin, call 800-383-3131 today.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by PM Technologies. If your generator is ready for winter, cold weather kills batteries fast. Your home standby generator needs maintenance once a year to stay reliable. Let PM Technologies handle your routine service and emergency repairs. Visit pmtech.org. That's pmtech.org to schedule your generator service today. We still have that accident on I-94 eastbound just before I-96. Your stop and go from Lanyo. It's blocking your two left lanes. I-75 northbound before Crooks Road. Steer clear of an accident there as well. That's causing stop and go from Big Beaver. It's also blocking your right shoulder. Police are on the scene. 75 northbound at I-375. We have an accident taking up your left lane. That's causing delays from the Lodge. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Temperatures will fall into the low 20s this afternoon with snow tapering off. Snow develops again overnight with a low of 1 and sub-zero wind chills, and sunny, windy, and cold tomorrow with a high close to 6. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
760 WJR here on a very cold, wintry
Wow.
Thursday afternoon. My guy, Steve Courtney in the house. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on there, Mr. Ryan?
You know what? Now that I just talked to Dr. Sabrina about seasonal affective disorder.
It's a real thing.
It is a real thing. It's a real diagnosis, and not to make light of it. But when you get these tips, when you talk about it a little bit and ways to maybe just get a little bit of peace and light, it does open up your mind a little bit.
I will tell you this, and I don't know what you heard about me, but I'm not a doctor. But I have been for a while, at my doctor's insistence, taking a vitamin D pill.
Vitamin D?
Yeah. And so it's always sunny and 72 in my world.
She has mentioned that. She just mentioned that on the air about
There
the vitamin
you go.
D.
And I can vouch for it. But listen, the weather that we're going to experience this weekend is insane. There are already, by the way, to our valued listeners, dozens of schools closed. Not necessarily because of the weather, but because Taylor Swift lied.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Just about this weather, I was getting dragged through the mud on social media last weekend. Not unusual, but nonetheless.
Whatever.
I said, watching the New England Patriots and the Chicago Bears playoff games in New England, in Chicago, I would much rather watch these world-class athletes be excellent and excel under a dome on turf and just watch great football instead of all these miscues and mishaps and slipping and sliding and all that. That is a story for another day. You can respond to that or not if you wish.
I'm a purist. I enjoy the
totally.
elements.
I said I'm totally in the minority on that one. But could you imagine, let's say, the NFC Championship game was played in Chicago this weekend in this weather? I don't think, would you want to go stand outside in weather like that?
It would be a revisit to the Ice Bowl with the Packers and Cowboys all those years ago. And I couldn't have imagined playing that. And I enjoyed playing in, little rain, little of this, little chilly.
Right.
But not when it's -3.
Minus
25?
Yeah. What do you
wind
think
chill.
the league would do? Would they play that?
Well, remember Kansas City, the playoff game, just a couple years ago.
Yes, you're
the
right
Miami
about
Dolphins
that.
were there. I mean, there were people taken to the hospital
You're
afterwards.
right about that. I
with
forgot about
hypothermia.
that game.
Yeah.
So they probably would play that.
Dudes were buying beers, and they were frozen solid inside 3 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. I remember that, Steve. You're right about that.
You know,
I just wouldn't. I not that an NFC Championship game will be played in Detroit at any point. We don't know, but if it is, I'm glad we have a dome. How about that?
well, all is good. Let's talk about our beloved winged wheelers,
Let's
shall
do
we?
it. Yes, we
How about the captain, Dylan Larkin, lighting the lamp, 3:07 into overtime. Red Wings take care of the laughs again, 2-1 last night. Simon Edvinson lit the lamp for the Detroiters. John Gibson, he was the difference, I think. He was just insane. 30 saves. By the way, Larkin added an assist for a 2-point night. Scott Lawton scored for Toronto. The Red Wings, by the way, a 3-game win streak, 7-1-0 over their last 8. And they go 4-0 in the season against the Leafs. Larkin won it in the extra session. Did you see the feed from Mo Sider?
Unbelievable. This team's playing good hockey, man.
He steals the old puck, and what a nice feed. By the way, Scott Lawton, he was awarded a penalty shot late in the second period, and I'm not one to judge other people's penalty shots. Thank goodness it was one of the worst I've ever seen. Anyway, the Red Wings don't have to wait long to get back into action. They're going to be in Minnesota tonight. Very late start, 9:30 to be exact. Right now, the Red Wings third in the Minnesota Wild third in the Central Division in the Western Conference. They're 12 points behind Colorado. Still a formidable hockey club. The Red Wings, when you take a look at the Atlantic Division, boy, I'll tell you what, this is just fun. Tampa Bay, Detroit, both with 66 points. Then you've got the Habs at 63. Now remember, the Carolina Hurricane continue to be on top of the Eastern Conference. They have 66 points.
What a trifecta.
It's unbelievable. And by the way, on opening night of this season, if you pay attention to such things.
A little bit.
The Red Wings were installed as 90-1 odds to win Lord Stanley's Cup.
Really? What are they now?
65-1.
Okay.
Keep that in mind, please.
Okay. Keep that in your memory bank.
Last night in Nolens, the Pistons did not have Cade Cunningham. He was scratched an hour and a half before tip because of illness. Don't worry about it. Jalen Duren scored 20 points, grabbed 15 boards. Dennis Jenkins added 17. The Pistons never trailed, and you didn't think they would. 112-104 against the beleaguered New Orleans Pelicans. By the way, Duncan Robinson, just so impressed with this dude.
I love him.
15 points, 4 and 9 from beyond the arc. The Pistons now have won 7 of their last 8. They will host Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets Friday night. Durant, by the way, 25.9 points per game. The Rockets, 26 and 15, fourth in the Western Conference, 9 behind OKC.
Man, New Orleans, Zion Williamson, man. This guy, 15 minutes last night.
The clock is ticking.
10 wins, 10 and 36. This guy was,
the dude's been in street clothes more than he's been in a uniform, it seems.
It's wild. You get these teams that have the number 1 overall pick. Some years you're lucky and some years you're not. And it just appears that the Zion Williamson, everybody thought Zion was a 100% can't miss guy.
Well, what does this show us? You name a sport. There are no guarantees.
None.
In the draft, period.
None.
And, many times across the board, we have seen no miss dudes miss.
A lot.
And it's just the way it goes. By the way, on your fine radio program tomorrow, looking forward to discussing Championship Sunday, baby.
Oh, man, I can't wait. And I don't want to complain. Love Championship Sunday. Can we go back to 1 and 4:30?
You know what? I'll agree with you on that.
1 and 4:30.
I would all be in favor of that.
You're waiting all day for the 3:00 game. Then you're not going to bed. The game's over at 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock maybe. That's 6.
Well, this Sunday, me being the practical dude that I am, the 3:00 start will allow us to shovel even more snow.
There you go. Always looking at the bright side.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Hey, don't go anywhere. We got a lot more coming up here on 760 WJR, but I want to thank Beth Ann Long, Danielle Mason, Rich Luzinski. I want to thank Haley Stevens for joining us, Congresswoman Stevens as well as Dr. Sabrina Jackson, the people expert. We love chatting with her. Hopefully you guys were entertained and informed today with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. Stay warm out there. Don't go anywhere. The Mitch Albom Show is next here on 760 WJR.
Now WJR Health Watch.